Right. Good evening, dear teachers. Thank you all for joining us today. I Allow me to share the screen once. All right. So, good evening, teachers. I warmly welcome you all to the day 2 of Job Mela training brought to you by HAT India, Teacher.in, and Teachers Upload. This session is a workshop that is being taken care by our super educator Divya Kapoor, and the topic for the day is planning and structuring a presentation. Now, before we go ahead, I would like to introduce the teacher network to all the new teachers who joined us today for the first time. Teacher.in is a professional network for K-12 educators, where educators can connect with fellow educators, exchange ideas and resources, attend training and upskilling sessions like these, and find jobs and other employment opportunities. We call it the teacher revolution, and it is teacher with an extra r.in. So there are only two specific ground rules that we'd like you to follow so that we have a great learning experience over the next 1.5 hours. The first one being, we request all the participants to please keep your mics on mute and type in your queries and questions in the chat box. In case, whenever Divya ma'am would give you a cue, you can unmute yourself and you can go ahead and have the conversation. And in addition to that, there would also be a dedicated Q&A session at the end of the end of the session, and that is where we believe that you can ask the questions to Divya ma'am and she can take it forward. So thank you so much. Without any further ado, introducing our super educator of the day, Ms. Divya Kapoor. Ms. Divya Kapoor is currently working as the headmistress in Pragyan School, Greater Noida. She's a progressive teacher with over 14 years of experience in teaching. She has been instrumental in engaging classrooms, by introducing interdisciplinary approach, a flipped classroom approach, and integration of ICT and other relevant activities based on international dimensions. Her areas of expertise include developing quality interventions in the teaching learning space using instructional strategies, designing sustainable development goals based activities, and creating flexible assessments. She has been working significantly towards peer mentoring, and she's also authored several educational articles in various prestigious journals all across the country. And in addition to that, she's been a recipient of various awards in the international and national space. She has received the prestigious CBSE Award in the year of 2018 for her contributions in the field of education. She's also been conferred twice with Life Empowerment Award for life skills and value education by Expressions India in collaboration with CBSE. And she's also been awarded the Global Teacher Award in the year of 2019 by AKS Worldwide. So, as you all know that we have been scheduling these training sessions to ensure that you have an X factor while you are applying to the vacancies in the relevant job mela. An important aspect of it is preparing and planning and structuring a presentation, especially when it comes to your virtual round or your demo round where you'd be having during the job mela. So to take up all relevant questions on these ideas, we have one of the most important school leaders in the education space, and it's an absolute honor to host you once again, Divya ma'am. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Varun, and thank you for those generous words. Also, I would like to thank Teacher.in for organizing such wonderful events wherein I think you are not only providing opportunity for educators to seek better jobs and opportunities, but at the same time learn from each other and share their expertise with each other. So before I start on to today's session and begin presenting my presentation, I would first like to have a quick few questions with the audiences of today. So I would first like to know from you, how familiar are you with the entire concept of preparing a presentation, and how many of you are comfortable using PowerPoint and the basic features of PowerPoint that that are used in making a presentation. So I'd like to have your quick replies in the chat section. Come on, participants. Your comments really value for today's session, and hearing from you would make me feel that you are in there with me. So do put your comments in the chat section. Okay, so there's not much of a response. So I'll move ahead in that case. Um, let's begin with my presentation today. Um, I'll take a minute to quickly present my screen to you. Okay, so we all know, and I think this past 1 year of COVID has actually put us across a situation where we've started realizing the worth of technology and how important is it to be able to make some good, appealing presentations to put our point across, not to us, not just to our students, but also to our employers, our peers, our colleagues. So this 1 year has really taught us the importance of technology in the classroom. There's a great quote by George Couros, and he says that technology will never replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can surely be transformational. And that is why we are here today. So, as Varun said, you're all seeking jobs, and today's presentation will not just help you in being able to make better presentations for yourself when it comes to your virtual rounds of job seeking, or within your classroom where it can benefit your students as well. So we'll concentrate on both the things, and I'll be guiding you about what you should be doing and including as a part of the presentation, and what you should be avoiding when you are creating presentations for different things. Now, this picture speaks a lot. Would any one of you want to tell me what this picture speaks for you? If you could put it in the chat box. What do you think this picture says?
Ma'am, everyone has different abilities.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that answer. And exactly like ma'am said, that everyone has different abilities. And this is true for us as well as our students. So all of us as educators have a different skill set. Some of us might be very, very proficient in English speaking. Some others might be very proficient in their subject, but might hesitate while they speak. Some might be very, very good with technology, while others need a little bit of hand holding. All of us have different skill sets, we as well as our students. But the world is not prepared accordingly. When we have to go and prove ourselves, whether it is us seeking jobs or it is our students appearing for exams, there is a standard format set for everyone. So, is that really correct? Is it that we should be judged on a standard format, or is it that we should be judged on our abilities? Well, the current scenario says that everyone is judged on a standard format, but yet you are given some extra points for your special abilities. Now, when you go to your classroom with this kind of a skill set that students put in front of you, every child is different, every child has their own uniqueness. So, how can you cater to those children in the classroom? That becomes a very, very big challenge to every teacher. Okay, and it is the same to a employer as well. So let's ponder upon what can be the different things that causes these differences, that causes these uniquenesses in us. So definitely it is our prior experiences. All of us have prior knowledge experiences, whether it is us or our students. Each of us have different personalities. We come from different cultural backgrounds. We have different preferences in life. Like, yesterday, while we were preparing for today's presentation, Varun shared with me that some of the teachers have preferred to relocate themselves, whereas others did not want to relocate at all from their hometown. So these are our preferences in life. Readiness. How ready are we to learn new things? Gender, definitely, that also brings about differences in people and our interests. So all of these lead to us being unique personalities, and that is why it is important that we use technology to be able to fill in these gaps in our personalities so that we are able to be ready for the world outside. Now, if I talk particularly about students, then there are some problems that students face in your classroom. These problems can be learning gaps, fear of failure, lack of visualization, the usual chalk and talk method, fear of basic things like basic grammar, basic calculation. And this is not just with students, this might be with adults as well. So these things develop when you have different personalities which have different features, which have different uniquenesses, but no one is perfect. So how do we prepare ourselves? Sorry. We need to prepare ourselves in the following steps. At least I follow these. First of all, we need to believe in ourselves. It is important that each one of us believes that we have a certain amount of skill set and we will be able to put across and give the best to whatever job we are working in. Same as in the classroom. When you go to the classroom, you should be able to believe that you will be bringing out the best in your students. Next, you should be layering clear objectives for yourselves. So what do you want to achieve in life? How far do you want to go? What salary do you want to achieve? Each of these should be very, very clear in front of you. You should adequately plan for the same. And you should keep trying different ways and means to achieve your goals. You should be effective in your communication and telling the person in front of you how you feel and expressing your thoughts in confidence. And lastly, you should be able to reflect adequately whether whatever happened with you in a job interview or in a classroom, what of it went very well and what of it you can improve using various means. Well, in today's time, the entire process of this improvisation can be laid on technology. Technology, I believe, is the ultimate solution. Today, it helps you train in every regard. You are hesitant in vocabulary, you can go online and you can find out so many courses and study material for yourself that it can help you train adequately. Similarly, when you want to train yourself in different tools and techniques to be able to present yourself well, again, technology comes in handy for you. Let's quickly move on to today's agenda. So what are we going to talk about today? First of all, why a presentation is important, salient features, some tools that help you make beautiful presentations, some tips from my side, and finally, we'll be ending with an assignment which you all can make and put across the learning of today's session. So, how does a presentation help an educator? That is the first thing we all need to understand, because we are all educators and we are all sitting here to learn how to plan and structure presentations. So it definitely helps you in your classroom to meet your student needs and to improve student performance, because each student is different like each teacher. So they may have different learning styles, they may have different approaches, they may have different learning paces, and so to meet with so many different things in a classroom, a presentation and its tools really help educators a lot. Next, in your professional development. So whatever you want to learn, whatever you want to, you are learning from webinars, courses, workshops, you can put it all in form of presentations and keep it safely, securely with you so that you can refer to it when you come back. Even if you want to present to someone, to your peers and colleagues, about what you have learned. So, if there are, say, 20 of you today here, and you would like to share the same presentation with your other colleagues, with your friends, so you can definitely make a presentation of your own or take some bit from mine, and you can go ahead and share your expertise with your peers and colleagues. Next is data analysis. So a lot of time, we have so much of student data with us, their marks, their formative assessments, their summative assessments, their quizzes. There's so many things that we do with students, but there is no adequate way of using that data to bring out results, to give us some insights and conclusions as to how a student is performing. So presentations can be used for data analysis as well. And finally, to improve efficiency, overall efficiency, so that because it gives you a platform to be creative and expressive. So you are able to improve your overall efficiency by using a presentation. Now, how does it help in classroom? Let's take a look at that as well. It is it's easily accessible. Okay, its accessibility is as easy as it is any common tool that is available to us. It provides differentiated learning. There is freedom of expression, and there is a personalized feedback that we can provide using presentations in the classroom. Now, what are some common tools that common platform that helps us make beautiful presentations? These common tools are PowerPoint. I'm sure everyone has heard about it. Google Slides, Bunsy, and Animoto. Now, Animoto is another great way of making presentations. I'm sure less of you would have heard about these tools. Today, we're going to move around and take a look at some of these tools, and I'll be sharing with you some tips and tricks of using each of these platforms to create wonderful presentations for yourself. Let's begin with PowerPoint. Some interesting features of PowerPoint. Now, although I asked a question in the beginning of today's session as to what is your level of expertise with PowerPoint, because I just wanted to know if everyone is familiar with the basic features of PowerPoint. And today I'm going to share with you some features which less people know about or less people use while they are creating a PowerPoint presentation. So amongst them are 4 things that I would like to talk about: Smartart, hyperlinks, animations and transitions, and reviewing. So let's take a look at them one by one. And for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to a PowerPoint presentation. So Varun, I would like your help here and want to check if my PowerPoint, once I open it, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Right, thank you so much. Okay, so like I said, let's begin with these 4 things that are extended features of PowerPoint, and how can we be using these to create beautiful presentations in our classroom or in our job space. So to begin with, let's first talk about Smartart. Now, Smartart is a very easy to use. Varun, can you mute the audience? Thank you so much. So it's a very easy to use feature which makes your presentations more visual. It adds an element of expression to your presentations. How do you use it is, there are 2 ways of using it. One is you directly select and insert a Smartart and then type things into it. Okay, so suppose I'll first show you that. You click the insert button, and in the insert button, this is how you see Smartart. So you click on Smartart. When you click on Smartart, it shows you these different types of Smartarts which are used for different purposes. So there's a list. If you want to display a list, you can use the list options. Process, if you're talking about a process, how a certain thing happens, you can choose that. Cycle, anything that works in a continuous cycle, you can choose that, or even if it is a start to end cycle, that also is available. Then hierarchy, if you want to talk about a lot of things which are in a hierarchy. Relationship, how one thing is related to another. Matrix, pyramids, and if you want to insert pictures in these Smartarts. So different types of Smartarts. I would request the audience to mute themselves, please. Thank you so much. So let's begin with choosing any one of these. So suppose I begin with cycle. Okay, I'm taking a cyclic kind of a Smartart. I'm choosing this one. So once I choose this, you will see it appearing on the screen, and here in this text box you can start typing whatever you want. So suppose I want to type workshop day 1. Okay, it will automatically set itself. It will choose a font size that will set into the space. Then you can workshop day 2, workshop day 3. So something like that, you can put in whatever you would want into the Smartart. And this is only one kind of Smartart. You can flip from one format to another. So if you choose a different format, the system will change it automatically for you. This is how it will change. You can change it like this as well. So you can choose different types of arts from the entire list gallery, and you can create any one for yourself. So this is how easy it is. You have to just click and the system changes it for you automatically. So you can see how it's changing. Okay, so now once you've done this, furthermore creativity can be added on to it. How can you add that creativity on? Again, if you see here, you can change the way this Smartart looks. Okay, you can put it in a solid format, in a little bit highlighted light format. You can even make it 3-dimensional. So if you choose this, it will change into 3-dimensional like this, and you will be able to then use it. There's also this a little it's an engraved kind of a version. So all of these are the different ways in which you can change the Smartart. Not just that, you can choose from a variety of colors, and you can change the color of your Smartart as well. These are some custom colors. If you want to recolor, you can just click on recolor, and you will be able to recolor the Smartart as per your choices. So you can choose the colors that you want it to be colored in, right? So like that. So you can change any color and you can convert it. Now this is using a Smartart, right? Now, but it's not necessary that every time you want to use a Smartart, you are planning it right from the beginning. Sometimes you're just thinking and putting down things on your presentation. So suppose I want to write something down in my presentation. So what do I do? I am inserting a text box, and I just want to write, okay, so I have 5 years experience, then I am good with technology, and I am married, and I have 2 kids. Okay, so I want to put this thing, and obviously you can put it in a bullet format, and you can even, this is how we generally type things. But suppose you have typed it and this is not looking nice on your presentation. So you can just go on here and click on convert to Smartart. You can choose the written content that you have created, and you can convert it into a Smartart. So see, if I click on this, automatically whatever I had typed, it gets converted into a Smartart. So you can, once you've created your presentation, then also you can add Smartarts to it. And again, like I said, you can choose what kind of a Smartart you want it to be, what color do you want it to be. So much so, even the size of the text inside. So for the text, what you have to do is click here. You have to select all the text boxes, go to home, and you can increase the size as much as you want. So suppose I want it to be 16. So you can increase the size to 16. You can make it bold if you want. You can make it italics if you want. You can underline if you want. So all these things can be done just like with the normal text in the presentation. So those kinds of things you can do. So any questions so far related to Smartarts? Okay, so then I'll take it as a no and I'll move ahead. The next thing that I'd like to tell you is hyperlinking. How can you hyperlink to add more elements to your presentation? Not every time all the data can be used, to put in this small space. So if you want to talk about a lot and you want that it just should be hyperlinked in the presentation, which another one can click and see. So for that, the hyperlinks are used. Now, how can you do that is you just need to click on whatever thing you want to put the hyperlink on, right click the object, this object, okay, and it gives you the option of hyperlink. Now, when you click on a hyperlink, there are two types of hyperlink that you can do. One is you can add a web page or a mail or a file, you know. The other is you can add another element from your same document to it. Okay, so how do you do this is, let me first show you if I want to add a web page or a file. For that, what I will do is I'll go back to my presentation and I'll copy the link of my today's presentation itself. So if you see this, I'm copying the link of my presentation from here and I am going to put that into the hyperlink here. So I'm going to right click on hyperlink, paste that particular thing, the link that I have copied for my presentation, and I'll click on OK. Okay. Now, the hyperlink doesn't show until you present something. So you need to present into the slide mode. And now you see it is not showing this regular cursor arrow. Here it is showing a hand. Why is it showing a hand? Because it is hyperlinked with something. And if you can see this, what is it hyperlinked with? That is also now visible on the screen. The link is visible on the screen. So if I click this, it will open that particular page for me. If I click this, it will open that particular page for me. So see, it's going to now it's taking me directly to my presentation because it was hyperlinked with the with that particular Smartart. So it was hyperlinked, and exactly where I am in the presentation, you can see it open in another window also. So hyperlink becomes very, very useful. How? I'll show you one example in one of the presentations that I had created using hyperlinks. This was a presentation created for another webinar altogether. So I'll just share it with you and I'll show you how hyperlink beautifully works in a presentation. Okay, so just give it a minute to open. So I'll show you from here. If you could see. So now I'm in this particular presentation, what I'm doing is I'm talking about the different things, the different strategies that I had tested in my class for reflective planning. Now, how? I have hyperlinked each one of these to different slides in my presentation itself. So just by being there on this particular slide, I can go on all the other slides where I want to go. So when I click on butterfly effect, it will take me to the butterfly effect slide. Now, if I want to go back to the original slide, I have hyperlinked this arrow to the original slide back again. So I click on this arrow and it will take me to the original slide. Again, if I click on self-observation, it is bringing me to the self-observation slide. And again, you see this arrow. Clicking on the arrow takes me back to the original slide. Same ways, I have hyperlinked for other objects as well. So again and again, if I want to come back to a same reference point, and then from there I want to move to other points and further details about different things, like it is a very good way of creating your own resume. You know, if you're talking about 4 good qualities that you have in you as an individual, then you can create that one page, and for each of the qualities or for each of the things that you would want to talk about, what work have you done in that area? How have you built up that quality? Can be another slide altogether, and you can actually connect it to this slide, and you can come back to the same slide talking about yourself again and again. So it's a very, very good feature, very interesting feature, and it proves to be very, very handy when it comes to making presentations. Right. So 2 things I've already discussed with you. One is Smartart and how to put a Smartart directly, and second is how to convert a text into Smartart. And then I also discussed with you hyperlinks. Now, let me talk about the third thing, which is again very important and sometimes adds a fun element to your presentation, which is transitions and animations. Okay, so let's talk about them one at a time. Transition is the way your slide appears on the screen when you present it. So right now, if I present it on the screen, I have not chosen any transition. It just appears blank. And if I move on to the next slide, it again just flips from one slide to another. But I can change the way it appears on the screen by using an appropriate transition. So if I want, suppose if it is the first slide for today and I want the transition as curtain to it, so it can open beautifully in the form of a curtain, and it gives that feel that, you know, we are opening with the day today, or we are opening with a new event that we are going to discuss about today. And next, if you want to, suppose for the second slide, if I want to use another set of transitions, so suppose I want to use, there are some very, very interesting transitions also. So you have airplanes, you have origami, you have the dissolve transition, you have the crush transition also. And I'll show you further on during my presentation how I've used the crush transition at one of the places. So I've put transitions. The only way to put transition is choose a slide, go to transition and select the transition that you want for your slide. So now when I present, you will see that my slide opens with the transitions that I have set for it. And then when I move on to the next slide, you will again see how it changes. So that adds another interesting element to your uh, presentation while you're creating it and presenting it in front of someone specially. Next, coming to animations. Animation is the way each of your objects inside a presentation appear. So transition was how a slide appears, and animation is how each of the objects inside appear. Now for that, what you can do is, suppose I want to choose an animation for this particular text. So again, there are different ways in which this particular text can come in or come out. So you can see here, you can see things like, if I open the Dropbox, there are some basic transitions that you will see. There are some subtle ones. There are some moderate ones, some very exciting ones. So that is how the system divides it into. You can choose the one that you feel is, really, really appealing to you. So suppose I want it to be faded swirl. Okay. Now I'll also show you how this comes up. So can you see? You just saw how this came in. Now suppose I want this particular Smartart to come in the form of grow turn. So it's turning and it's growing onto the slides. That's how it'll appear when you put this particular animation. Similarly, suppose I want to choose this particular Smartart and I want to give it grow shrink. It's growing first and then it will shrink back again. So it is grow shrink. So you want to put emphasis on something, it will grow onto your screen while you're talking about it, and then it will shrink back again. Now, there are two ways of using these animations. Again, I'll first show you how it appears on the screen. And then this is grow shrink. Now, all of this is happening while I am clicking onto it. But you can also make it happen automatically. If you see here, you can set timings after which it will automatically appear on the screen. So you can, if you don't want to do it manually, however, I always prefer doing it manually, because while you are speaking, you don't actually know how much time would you take. So if it appears before, you are often, you tend to get a little nervous as to, your entire script has fallen back. So it's always better to put it manual so that the control is with you and you're able to do it more easily and more seamlessly. Okay. So I would like to take a halt here and have any questions that are there so far from the three things that we have discussed. Any questions so far?
Yes, I wanted to ask one question.
Yes.
Yes, you are using PowerPoint presentation and it's connected to net, but sometimes like it doesn't works. So what can be the reason for that?
Uh, no,
Because all
PowerPoint
these,
presentation doesn't require net. PowerPoint
but
should be installed in your system.
but hyperlinking would require net.
Exactly, ma'am.
I'm coming to the point. If hyperlinking is done to an internet document, then it is required, the net is required. But suppose I'll show you an example of hyperlinking here itself. Okay, so what I will do is, let me insert another slide for you. So new slide I'm choosing, okay, and I'm going to just move on to this slide. Now suppose I want to hyperlink this Smartart to the next slide, okay, and on the next slide I'm just writing for you, come, let's begin, so that we know that the next slide has come. So if you see this, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on hyperlink and I will choose this document. When you choose this document, it doesn't require internet at all. No internet required. Okay, now in this document, it will ask you which slide. So I will say, either you say next slide if it is the next slide, or you put the slide number. So it says it'll tell you use this document and you choose next slide, okay, or you say these. It'll show you, see, the slide 1 is workshop, slide 2 is let's discuss, slide 3 is just slide 3. So I'm choosing slide 3 and I click OK. Now when I do the presentation, okay, each of these will appear with the transitions and animations that I've set in. Now I want this to go. Now can you see this hand is wavering? It is no longer the arrow. Both have the hands now. So I will click on this and it will go on to that particular slide. Now no internet is required in this. So when you are hyperlinking amongst your slides only, amongst different slides in your own presentation, suppose like I said, that if you're making a resume for yourself and you want slide number 30, 31, 32, just for example, you want it to appear on slide number 9 when you're talking about yourself. So you can just hyperlink slide those particular sections of text to that particular slide. And when you do that, it will, when you click, it will automatically reach that slide, and no internet or no kind of internet services are required for that. Any
Thank you,
other
ma'am.
questions? Okay, so okay, someone wanted me to repeat hyperlinks. I've repeated it. Is it clear to you, or would you want me to go back to it later? Okay, so let's move ahead then with the last thing, which is very, very important and which I wanted to discuss in PowerPoint presentation, which is reviewing. So if you see this review tab on the top, reviewing is often used for giving personalized feedbacks. So you can do a reviewing for your students, you can do a reviewing for your colleagues, and if you yourself are at a position, are as a head position, then you can review other people's work. Now how does reviewing happen? You click on review and there are different kinds of review that you can do. One review is your personal review. Often we tend to make typing errors and do spelling mistakes. So definitely there is, everyone should go in for this. I would suggest everyone before they submit any sort of presentation should go into review and do a spell check. So if you click on spelling, it will just show you, see, the spelling check is complete because there was no error so far. But let's make an error deliberately. So let me write it as, okay, I'm writing this. I want to write said, but I'm writing a wrong spelling, typing error. So now if I do a spell check, you will see it is telling me that this spelling is wrong and this particular should be the correct spelling. Now it gives you a choice. Either you press add if you feel that if the system is giving you a correct guidance. If you feel that no, whatever you've typed is correct, because sometimes it's your name, so system doesn't recognize your name and it often tells you that it is a spelling error. So if it is your name, or if it is your school's name or your organization's name, then you can obviously choose to ignore. But if you feel that the system is giving you a right suggestion, then you can just click on add and the system will change it for you. Okay, I don't know what happened, but it should have changed it, because it's saying resume. So if I click on this, it should be, okay, so sorry, I clicked on add. So I made a mistake. Add means it has added that particular word to the library. So I'll show you again with another example. Suppose I want to give recap and I type these spellings for recap. Okay, and I click on spell check. Now it's showing me these are the correct options. So you have to click the correct option that you think is correct. So this, and you have to click on change. If you click change, it will automatically change it. But if you click add, it will add that spelling to the library, to the dictionary of the system. So suppose I want to write Nivedita. Now Nivedita, I'm sure the system might not recognize, so it will show you as an error. Okay, it's showing that this is an error. So if I add Nivedita, it will stop showing me this error. So every time after this, when I add Nivedita, it will not show it as an error. Okay, so if I now spell check it again, it will not show me that this is a error, even after I do the spell check. So see, it's not showing me any error now. Now this word again, I'll put a add and it will stop showing me that it is a error. Now this is one way of self-checking, spell check, and getting your own work to be corrected and making it better. But the other way where you can review other people's work is by commenting. So here you can see the option of new comment. If you click on new comment, for clicking a new comment, first you should choose something on the screen. So suppose I'm choosing this and I want to comment on this. Now it will show who is commenting. So it's showing my email address, and then I can type anything that I want to type here. So I can type incorrect words used. So just typing that much. You can type bigger things also. You can type replacements also, that in place of this, you should be typing this. And then you close the comment. Okay, just close the comment here. And now this you can see here. So every time I click on this, it will open that this comment has been made by me, and the other person will be able to see it. That this is the kind of comment made by my reviewer, and then I should be making some change to it. You can add a reply that, okay, will do the needful. So the other person whom you're sharing the presentation with can give you a reply as well to that comment that you have added. And all the conversations will be available here. So you can just click on this and you will be able to see the conversation that the people have done. So reviewing is another important feature in a PowerPoint presentation, which most of the people do not use. You can delete a comment also. So suppose you want to delete a comment that you've done. I feel I've made a wrong comment. So this cross sign that you can see here, this cross sign here, so you can click and the comment goes away completely. Right? Any questions regarding reviewing?
You just said that the mail address will come again. It will be an online feature.
No. If my mail address is coming, because my software, my office is linked to my mail address. That's why. But if your software is not linked to your mail address, it will not come. It will show your name.
Ma'am, can it be downloaded in mobile also, this app?
PowerPoint presentation, yeah, you can download it, but not all features are available in a mobile. It has restricted features in a mobile. All the features are not available.
Okay. So a system is necessary for this?
No, I'm saying it is available, but all features are not available. So if you don't have a system, you can just download. You can right now also, if you're using the Android phone, you go to the Play Store and you click on you search PowerPoint, and it will show you a PowerPoint app. You can download it, but it does not have all the features that are available on the system software.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So anything further, or I can go ahead?
Go ahead, ma'am.
Right. Thank you. So let's move on and let's take up the next thing. PowerPoint, I think the basics I have basics I'm expecting everyone to know. So that's why I've just discussed some good features that I wanted to share with all of you. Now, let's move on to a similar feature, which is again very, very accessible, very easy to use, and it is also used for creating PowerPoint presentations, which is Google Slides. Now, Google Slides also is similar to PowerPoint presentation. This, however, requires internet to be made because it is available on the internet. It is related to your Google email account. It is actually a extended application by Google that you can use. So I'll tell you a little bit about these as well. Now, again, let me first show you how it looks like. So this presentation for today's workshop, today's session that I've made is on Google Slides. So this is how my presentation looks. Okay, it is very similar to PowerPoint and the basic structures remain the same. So let me show you by opening a new presentation and how things work. So I go to File, I open a new presentation. So I'm showing you right from scratch how Google Slides happens. It'll open a new presentation for me, blank one, and I can then choose any sort of formats and any themes for my presentation. Now, in order to do anything to my presentation, what I first need to do is I need to give it a name. To give it a name, all you need to do is you need to click here on the untitled presentation and you can change the name. So I am writing sample presentation. The interesting part about this is that if you have internet, this automatically saves into your Google Drive. So you don't need to be worried about if suddenly the light goes away. It has an instant saving option. The more work you do, instantly Google keeps saving it side by side. Now, like you can see that the system has already given me these themes automatically. I've not done anything. I've not pressed anything. It has given me these themes from which I can choose to create any one of these presentations. So any one I can choose. Suppose I choose this one. It looks very bright to me. So if I choose this, automatically the system will import the theme to me and my slides will start appearing in that particular presentation. Suppose you select it but you don't like it, so you can just click on another style and the system will change it for you. Now, once you've chosen your theme, then you just need to click and write like you do in a normal presentation. And likewise, you can just do add on to different slides. Now, to adding on to different slides, you don't want this particular format, then you can change the layout by going to layouts. So you go to layouts and you'll see the different layouts that the system is offering you. You can choose any one of the layouts that you feel is good for whatever text you want to put in here. So suppose I want to choose only title only, so it'll only give me title. If I want a picture, so I can go to picture. It's very, very, very similar to the PowerPoint, but I'll show you what difference is also there once I'm through the basic version. Next, just like any other presentation, you can insert various things into it. So let's begin with the insert option. You can insert images. So insert images has upload from the computer or search the web. So this is one interesting thing here. Although in PowerPoint, if you want to use an image, you have to go to the web, save that image into your system, and then you will be able to use the image in PowerPoint. But if you want to do it here, you can directly search the web. So if you click on search the web, it will show you the Google search engine side by side. And suppose I want the picture of flowers. So I just need to type flowers, click enter, and it will show me the pictures here itself. So I can just click on any one picture I like and click on the insert below. So I don't need to open another Google window to be able to do this. So this is the beauty of using Google Slides. Otherwise, generally, you have to go to Google, select a picture, save it in your system, or copy it from there and then use it in your PowerPoint presentation. So this is how you can actually use any sort of image. Again, I'll show it once again for your convenience. Insert, image, search web. You click on search web, and now suppose I want to search any other thing apart from flowers. So suppose I want a chair. I just type chair, click enter, and it will show me different chair images that are available on Google. So I can click on one image, press insert, and the chair will appear for me right away. I don't have to go anywhere else. Okay, and again, like any other simple software, you can increase or decrease the size of the image that you are choosing as per your convenience. If you want to copy paste it, you just need to right click, and you can copy and paste. So copy, and then you go to paste again. So it will paste another similar image for you, just like the PowerPoint. Okay, again I'll show you copy, and you go and paste. So you click on copy, and then you paste. So the image again appears for you. Likewise, so you can insert as many images as you want directly from the web or from your system also. Okay, so both the things can be done. Next, you can insert a text box. So obviously text box means if you want to write something on a plain slide. So let me first insert a slide again. So suppose I have a plain slide like this one, blank, and I want to insert a text box to it. So text box, it will give you the option to draw the text box. I've drawn the text box. Now I can write anything into it. I'm writing whatever I want to. Okay, so it will help you write. If you are choosing a blank slide and you want to put a heading or you want to write anything, you can use that using the text box. Next is shape. Now in this, you can add a variety of shapes. So just click on shape. In shapes also, it gives you a lot of variety. So first is these basic geometrical shapes that you'll see. So suppose I want to choose this shape, it will draw the shape for you. Again, insert shape. If I want to choose something like this, it will draw this for you automatically. You can choose the size you want. Obviously, you can where you want to place it, that also you can choose where exactly. Then the next thing in shape is arrows. Sometimes we need arrows to show how a thing is moving. So you can choose an arrow, you can draw it. The shape will be drawn for you as big and as small. Even once you've drawn and you want it to be bigger, you can always make it bigger, or you can always go back and make it smaller. You can also choose a different color to be filled into it. So here is the fill color option. So right now it is coming in a particular color, but suppose I want red, so I can choose red. If I want blue, I can choose blue in the fill color option, anything. And if the outline currently is black, but if I want, I can change the outline as well. I can change, suppose, the outline to red. And again, how thick the outline is, that also you can choose. So I can put the outline as thick as I want while I'm creating something. Also, what type of outline do you want? That also can be chosen. So you can choose a dotted outline as well, or a whole outline as well. So type of outline can also be chosen by you like this. So all these are the insert image options, and images are the shapes and images, and often these are inserted to make the presentation more interesting. Then the next is call outs. Now, if you want to type something showing that it's a thought process, so it can be done using call outs. So these kinds of call outs you can use, and you can type inside this. So you can just double click and start typing inside it. The system just creates it for you, and then you can change the color, you can change what you want to type inside it, and even what you have typed, you can change its font size, you can change its how it looks, you can change again its color. The color can be changed from here, from the text color, the A written. I can choose any color that I want. So if you want to write within a shape, you don't have to do anything. Just insert the shape and double click on the shape. Automatically, the Google Slides help you write inside it. Okay. So far, any questions? I'd like to take a halt here and ask a few questions.
Ma'am, in that you told that we can download the Google pic, right?
Yeah.
In the first slide.
Yes.
I just want to know that whether we can add the text also after selecting the pick. Can we add the text like how you did for this here? Exactly. Now you took the chair. Now can I type any text below the pick or
Below the
on
pic. Yeah, so
yeah,
you can definitely do it using the text box option. Okay, so what you just need to do is insert text box. So if I have inserted this text box, you can draw the text box, and suppose I want to write beautiful flowers. I can do that.
Okay. Thank you.
Right? And again, all of this can be changed. If you want to make it at the center, you can align. There is an option for alignment. You can align it to left, to center, to right. So wherever you want. If I want it in the center, I'll put it in the center. If I want to increase the font size, I will select it, and then I can increase the font size as much as I want. Again, I can make it bold. I can make it italic. I can underline it. I can change the color.
And
Everything
what like on the pic, ma'am, on the image.
on the same thing. You just need to take this and drag it on the image. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
So you can just do it wherever you want.
Okay.
Another interesting thing that can be done is, now suppose you have put it on the top of an image, now that you've asked me this question, and sometimes the images are such that the text stops showing. Now what to do in that situation? Now what you can do is, this text box can also be colored. Okay, right now it is transparent, but if you click on the fill color option, then you can choose a very light color to appear in the text box, and that makes your text even more visible on the top of the picture. So that is something that can be done. Also, the shape of the text box can be changed. How? I've selected this and I'm going on these shapes. If I click here, I can change the shape of my text box. So I'm going to take this rounded text box. And now when I click here, that just something went wrong. 1 second. So this I'm going to remove, but yeah, I'm going to show you again. So suppose I'm clicking on this. Okay. Now I want to change the shape of this text box. So all I have to do is I will go on to, there's a crop shape option should come. No, this is again going in a wrong direction. 1 second. Just give me a second, please. Okay, so possibly that happens in PowerPoint. It is not happening here. That's an option available in PowerPoint. It automatically changes the text box there to another shape. We can do that in PowerPoint, but possibly not in Google Slides. So, any other question related?
In this, we can add also 3D, no, ma'am. 3D slide, pic and all. We can add, no, ma'am.
Where you want to add a pic?
In this, whatever the image you have taken, we can also put some 3D images for that. No, it won't accept.
I didn't get your question. If you could just explain it to me again.
Now you have put this butterfly and the flower, right?
Right.
So instead of that, if I put the 3D effect.
3D effect. Okay.
Will it support?
3D effect image you are saying? No, it will not support. It will not support it. This has been taken as an image only. Okay, for a 3D, you have to put it in the form of a 3D effect only. So I'll show you. I'll move on to that also, and I'll show you how our 3D smart art can be added here. That I will let you know.
Yeah.
Okay. So next, moving on to, we've already discussed shapes. Now moving on to tables. So I can add any table. So before that, I'll add another slide so that it's clearly visible to you. So suppose that you want to write something or mention something, maybe, your years of experience or your job experience so far, or your education. So you can do that in a tabular format. So you need to click on table and then you can see how much ever table rows and columns you want. You can choose that, and the table is created for you. Then you just need to type inside the table in the different sections. And again, within the table also, you can do the same things that you can do with any text. You can increase the size after selection. You can change the font style. You can bold it, put italics, underline, or you can change the color as well. You can highlight it also if you want. So all of these things can be done in a table. Now, even the table itself, you can, if you want, suppose it is too cluttered and you want to increase its the column and the width of the rows and columns, so you just need to select the table and go on to line spacing. Now in line spacing, if you increase the line spacing, the table automatically will grow bigger like this. Okay, it will grow bigger. You have to increase the line spacing. That means whatever you have typed, it will take more space in the table. Okay, next, you can even add mathematical bar graphs or column graphs or pie charts within a presentation. Now for that, what you have to do is, again, insert. I'm going to insert another blank slide so that I can show you chart, and suppose I'm using a bar graph. Now it will insert a bar graph automatically, and now obviously this is not what I need. I need it as per my liking and how I would want to do it. So for that, I can change the values inside this particular chart. So how can I do that? You have to select, and you can one second, my system is hanged, not responding. Let me do it again. Suppose this is a pie chart. Now how do you want it to change? You go to linked objects. It will show you what is linked. The linked object is a Google Sheet. You click on the Google Sheet, and it will open the sheet for you. So this is the sheet with which that particular pie chart or the graph has been made. Now suppose in this I want to write I want to write experience. I'll write name of school. So any school name you can give. I'm just writing school 1. Okay. School 2. You will see all that I'm doing is changing here in the bar graph below also. In the pie chart, sorry. School 3 and school 4. Now I have 1 year in school 1, 3 years in school 2, 4 years in school 3, and currently in the current school I'm from 2 years. So you will see that automatically the bar graph, the pie chart changes as per the entries that you have done. Okay, and you can then place it or use it in your presentation. So this just shows how much of time you've spent in different schools.
And please, once again, how to take this bar chart?
Okay, I'll show you again. Okay, just give me a second. I'll take another slide and I'll show you again. So insert, new slide. I've taken a new slide. Now I go to insert, click on chart. Now there are different types of chart. You can choose a bar graph, you can choose a line graph, you can choose a pie graph. So I'm choosing a bar graph this time. Earlier I chose a pie graph. You need to click here, and you need to click on open source. It will open that Google Sheet with which this pie chart is linked, जिसकी मदद से ये बना है. Okay, so it will open that up, and then it will allow you to work on it. Now this system has opened it for me. So suppose I want to write about anything. Suppose I want to write about day 1 and day 2. 2 days of a workshop. And then I want to write about the number of teachers who attended from different subjects. So English teachers, math teachers, science teachers. I can just change everything that I want to write in it, and then say uh, Hindi teachers, just taking as an example, Hindi teachers. And then I can change the data also as per my needs. So day 1, suppose I have 50 English teachers, and day 2, 89 English teachers. Day 1, suppose 20 maths teachers, and day 2, 24 maths teachers. Or if I want to change it to say 80 maths teachers, so you'll see how the bar graph changes suddenly. Science teachers, so say 34 science teachers, and day 2, suppose it is 60 science teachers. So likewise, you can change the data, and then this bar graph is ready for you, and it will be appearing on the screen also. So all you need to do is you need to click, copy, and go back and replace it with the current one. So you paste. Then you will be able to see the one that you have created. Same thing can be done with a pie chart as well. So you can put charts and graphs to make your presentations more appealing. Next, moving on to, you can insert diagrams as well. So these diagrams were what I was talking about in the PowerPoint presentation. We called them as Smartart, and here they're called as diagrams. So you can choose different types of diagrams. Again, you can see it's grid, hierarchy, timeline, process, relationship, cycles. Within this also there are different ones available. Not a lot of variety. The PowerPoint has a huge variety. This has a limited variety. So you can choose any one of these. So suppose I click on insert a new slide, and then I click on this, so it will appear on my screen. If you want to change color, you can change the color. Okay, any color that you feel like from the given list. So it will change the color to that color. Number of steps. So it has a limitation, but it will give you some amount of steps. That means if I want to write 5 things within this diagram, so it gives me an option to write between 3 to 5 things. So that those 5 things I can write down, and I can just change this text option. So I can change it to that any text that you want. So suppose you want to write your qualities here as a teacher. So you can say that you are well versed with subject. And here you can write something else. Technology is my forte. Something like that. So you can write whatever you want. And again, like all the previous options, you can increase the size. You can make it bold. You can even change the color if you want. So suppose I wanted black in color, I can change it to black in color. So likewise, you can also add diagrams in the presentation. Okay. Now, this is the basic, which is very similar to PowerPoint. Now I'm going to talk to you about a new thing which PowerPoint does not has, but Google Slide has. Okay, which is, if you see here, add-ons. Add-ons. Now Google Slide allows you to add on some new things to it. All these things are actually available on Google. You can go and get an add-on for yourself. Obviously, it uses internet, but it helps you add an extra element to your slides. Now, I have a few set of add-ons, and my personal favorite is Nearpod and Pixton. So suppose I click on Pixton, so you will see when I open it, this side window will open for me. Now, it will allow me to create a character or a human figure that I want to create and add it to my PowerPoint, to my Google presentation. Now, how? Suppose I want to choose a female figure. So out of the 4, I'll choose a female. Its color and complexion, I can choose. So suppose I want to show myself. So that's how I'm going to choose its hairstyle. So I'm choosing a hairstyle also. Now, finally, an outfit. You can choose from various outfits that are available here. So suppose I choose this particular outfit for myself. And then it will ask you a pose. What kind of pose do you want to be standing in? So suppose, like I said, you were talking about yourself and your quality. So this is a very, very interesting thing that you can do in the PowerPoint. You just select on a pose. So I'm choosing this particular pose. And by magic, you will see this thing appear on my screen. So Abhi, you will see how it is appearing on my presentation. So it feels as if you are talking about your own qualities. So this really helps an additional element to your PowerPoint presentation.
Can you name the add-on once again?
It is Pixton. So again, I'm telling you how to go to an add-on also, I'll tell you. You click on add-on and you click on get add-on. So when you click on get add-on, it opens you a whole repository, a whole collection of add-ons that Google provides you with. So you can choose an add-on that you want. So for me, I have already installed, like you can see it's showing installed, Adobe Creative Cloud, Nearpod. Then this here is Pixton. I'll show you how Pixton looks like. This is Pixton, Pixton Comics. And this really, really helps you to give in that extra niche into your presentation. So once you click, now suppose I'll do a demo for you. Suppose I click on Geogebra and I want to add this. So to add this, it will ask me to install. Once it opens, I'll click on install. It will ask me permission. So I'll click on continue. And now it will open my Google account for me because I have to give it permission to access the basic things. So I'm selecting my account. It will ask me permission to allow. So it is asking me permission to allow. I'll click on allow. And then it will tell me that done. It has been installed in my add-ons. I click on done and I can click on this cross. Now when I click on add-ons, you will see Geogebra calculator added here. Right? So some of my favorites are Pixton, like I told you. There's Nearpod, there is Geogebra, there is Adobe. So these really, really help you in making your presentations more fun and lively in the course of presenting it to whoever is seeing, especially if you are showing it to an employee or even if you are using it in your classroom. Any questions so far? Okay. So then in that case, I will move back to my original presentation. And now, this here in this presentation, I have shown you how system actually gives you an option to provide themes. But there are also some beautiful internet websites where you can actually get these themes. You don't have to, actually look around and create these things for yourself, but you can get these themes. So how can you get these themes? I'll show you, and I would like, I'll actually give it across to Mr. Varun also so that he can type it into the chat section later and he can share it with you people. He can send it to you people. So one of the websites is slidescarnival.com. It provides you with free PPT templates and Google slide templates. So you can just download this template for yourself and start using it for any kind of presentation that you want to create. So suppose I want this as a presentation format. So I'll click on this presentation format. It will ask me to open. I've opened it. Now I can go to preview and download. So I can either use it as a PowerPoint template or I can also use it as a Google Slides. Both of these I have explained to you today. And either of the ways, I always prefer using Google Slides because it saves automatically. So you will see this kind of a thing comes, make a copy. So I will make a copy because someone has created it and so many people are using it. So it will create a copy for me and I can straight away start making changes to this particular presentation and I can create a lovely presentation for myself. So you will see slowly, it will take 2 minutes. It will load up the entire presentation for me in the original format and then I can make changes and create a presentation. You can see this. These are all the slides, already created slides. You have to just change the text and you are ready to go with a presentation. So many different ways and formats already in place for you. You have to just choose what you want. Right? So before we close today's session, I would like to give you some uh, pointers from my side. When you create presentations, whether it is for a job interview or for your classroom, what things should you be keeping in mind? Whatever software, whatever tool you are using to create it. Okay, the first thing is you should choose an appropriate theme to create your presentations. So these are some examples. So here are some presentations that I had created for some particular purposes. If you see, the first one says effective use of newspaper, and the background itself creates the feel of the fact that I'm going to talk about newspapers today. So choosing an appropriate theme becomes very, very important when you are trying to create a good presentation. Next, always try to add bullets instead of huge paragraphs. So a paragraph is a no-no. When so much of text is written on a presentation, no one wants to read it, no one wants to see it. People soon lose their interest in whatever the presenter has to say. So it is always good to have a lot of visuals, small bullet points, small phrases, and then talk about what you want to say. Support with appropriate images. A slide full of text is never appealing to anyone. If you add images, if you have a lot of color onto the slide, obviously depending on why are you preparing a slide, that also makes a difference. But at the end of it, it is important that you support it with images to make it look more lively for the audiences. Add videos wherever possible. And here I have a video hack for you. So there's this tool that I had mentioned in the beginning called Animoto. You can explore this tool. It is very easy. And it helps you create instant videos from your own presentations itself. So I'm going to show you one video that I've created. So like that, you can create videos using your own presentations as well. Lastly, like I've already discussed with you, you should be using Smartarts and infographics. Infographics are Smartarts available online, and you have some websites where you can use directly. It is available. You can just pick up from there like you picked up the slides and you can directly use the infographics from there. So suppose I want to use any one of these, suppose I want to use this as an infographic or this as an infographic in my presentation. So I can just click on that particular slide that I want. It will give me an option to download it or open it in Google Slides. So I will open it in Google Slides. Like I always said, I prefer using Google Slides over PowerPoint, but you can use PowerPoint as well. And it'll open that slide for me, beautiful slide. I don't have to do much. I have to only change the text. So I have to change the text and things just happen for me automatically.
And please repeat, how have you taken this?
I will be giving you the link, ma'am. There's this link. I will just paste it for you in the chat box so that you also can do it in your own systems, or even if you have the app. Even if you have the Google Slides app, you can use it there as well.
Ma'am, how did you add that music, ma'am?
That's the tool itself. The tool allows you to add the music.
We have the tools. Music is already there where we can select and add
Yes,
them.
absolutely.
How you do, ma'am?
I'll show you. I'll take you through. I've just pasted the link of these templates in the chat box. You can click and it'll directly take you the template. Choose any one template that you feel is appealing to you, and you can start right away changing the text and using it in your presentation. As far as the link for the Animoto goes, I'll just show you how Animoto looks like. So this is Animoto. Okay, now if I want to create something, I just need to, this is animoto.com. Again, I'm going to give you the link in the chat box first so that I don't miss on that. And so I can just click on create. Animoto obviously has, like you saw in my video also, there is a watermark on the corner, Animoto, because it's a free account that I'm using. Any of the things that I've told you today, none of it are paid for. All of them are free to use. So you can use it without paying a single penny. Even this is free to use. So these are, even in Animoto, there are some templates that are already there. Or आप उसमें you can make changes in the written text and you can use it for yourself. Whereas you can create one from scratch also. But suppose you want to use it for yourself just by changing the text. So you can click on any one of the templates. Now this is already a created template. All you need to do is write your own text. So I click on choose template. It is creating that project for me. So all I will do is I will go and change the text. So this is the first slide. It is slide wise. So I want to change the text. Want to learn more. That's what I'll type. I can retype it. I can change the color. I can change the size. I can change the font size. Okay. Technology is the key to the future. So now this is the text that I've changed. Now similarly, I can change the text for all the other slides as well. And this particular template I can choose. Now this is a video that they've added, but I can actually put on anything that I want to add instead. Okay, so I can choose, I can download it from the internet and I can put it here. And the music that you were talking about is here. So you can click on music and it will give you a whole music genres. What kind of genre would you want to have? What is the mood that you want to keep? And then you can choose a music that you feel is good for your video.
In this, we can change the background, ma'am.
We can. This is a chosen template. Okay, suppose I want to create something for myself. So अगर आप वो create करना चाहते हैं, then you can choose. So I'm just coming out of this. I'll show you again how this happens. So you can actually start from scratch. If you see the beginning where I had begun from, it told me that there is a start from scratch option. Now start from scratch means that I will not be choosing any template and I will be creating something on my own. So that option is always there. So if I click on create, see again, I'll show you. I'm clicking on create. Here is the start from scratch option. If I click this, then nothing will be there. Then I can choose my own background, I can choose my own text, and I can just do whatever I want to do with it. So you see, it will show me so many themes. You can choose any theme that you like from this. So many themes. You can choose any one theme that you like from these, and you can go ahead and start making your video. Okay.
Ma'am, one more thing, you spoke about that resume and all. We can create a resume and all, correct?
I was saying you can create your resume on Google Slides by using different things.
Correct.
Yes.
Google slide. Now, when we type in the word, we can take the printout and it will come in A4 size, correct? But in these slides, when we want to take the printout, will it comes in A4 size or
It'll come in. It can come in A4 size. I'll show you how. So suppose this is my Google slide. Okay. Now I will go to File and I'll go to Page Setup. Now this is the page setup. I can change it to any custom size I want. So if you set the custom size as a A4 size, it will be able to put it in an A4 size.
Okay. Then we can take the printout. Correct?
Yes. Then you can take the printout. Right now, moving ahead, and I think we are already on to the closing of our presentations. I've already talked about a lot today. I hope that the presentation was useful to you. Okay, so let's come to the assignment for today. You have to create an interesting Google presentation with Google Slides on any subject related topic or as your resume. Try to add videos using Animoto. Okay, try to add videos using Animoto or any other tool that you feel is more interesting. So with this, I would like to come to an end to today's presentation, and I'm really, really thankful. I think I had a really interactive audience today, and I hope that for you also this was an interesting presentation, and you could take home some things for yourself.
Yes. And ma'am, can we get these steps in our mail ID, ma'am? So if we get confused, we can just follow up your steps, however you have to, what way you have taught
The
us.
recording of today's session as well as my PowerPoint presentation.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the very highly insightful session. Dear teachers, if you have any questions, we can take that up for the next 5 minutes if that's okay. And you can unmute yourself, take questions one in order, or you can raise your hand and ma'am would call out you and we can take that forward. So we have 5 minutes for the Q&A session.
From where to send the homework, the assignment?
So all the information will be shared via your email. So I request all the teachers to please fill in the feedback form. So there's a link on the screen as you see the link has also been shared in the chat box. So you can click on the link, fill the feedback form. So we'll be mailing you all the information, be it the presentation, be it the recording as well, and the details in which you are supposed to submit the assignment. So all the information will be shared. Once you fill the feedback form, and that is the only way in which we can reach out to you.